शुक्लां भरधरं विष्णुं शशिवर्णं चतुर्भुजं प्रसन्नवदनं ध्यायेत् सर्वविघ्नोपशान्तये सरस्वती नमस्तुभ्यं वरदे कामरूपिणी विद्यारम्भं करिष्यामि सिद्धिर्भवतु मे सदा गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णुः गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः गुरुः साक्षात् परं ब्रह्म तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पादशङ्करं लोकशङ्करं शङ्करं शङ्कराचार्यं केशवं बादरायणं सूत्रभाष्यकृतौ वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः अपारकरुणा सिन्धुं ज्ञानदं शान्तरूपिणं श्रीचन्द्रशेखरगुरुं प्रणमामि मुदान्वहं सर्वोपनिषदो गावो धोक्ता गोपालनन्दनः पार्थो वत्सः सुधीर्भोक्ता दुग्धं गीतामृतं महत् वसुदेवसुतं देवं कंसचानूरमर्दनं देवकी परमानन्दं कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुम्। ॐ सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। नमः शिवाय इति शिवं प्रपद्ये शिवप्रसीद इति शिवं प्रपद्ये शिवात् परं न इति शिवं प्रपद्ये शिवोऽहमस्मि इति शिवं प्रपद्ये।
गीता ध्यान श्लोकम फर्स्ट लास्ट
ओम पार्थाय प्रतिबोधितां भगवता नारायणेन स्वयं व्यासेन ग्रथितां पुराणमुनिनां मध्ये महाभारतम् अद्वैतामृतवर्षिणीं भगवतीम् अष्टादशाध्यायिनीम् अम्ब त्वामनुसन्दधामि भगवद्गीते भवद्वेषिणीम्। यं ब्रह्मा वरुणेन्द्ररुद्रमरुतः स्तुन्वन्ति दिव्यैस्तवैः वेदैः साङ्ख्यपदक्रमोपनिषदैः गायन्ति यं सामगाः ध्यानावस्थिततद्गदेन मनसा पश्यन्ति यं योगिनः यस्यान्तं न विदुःसुरासुरगणा देवाय तस्मै नमः। Thank you.
நான் சொல்றேனா ஆரம்பிக்கிறீங்களா?
நான் சொல்றேன். நமஸ்காரம். प्रथमोऽध्यायः अर्जुन विषाद योगः। धृतराष्ट्र उवाच धर्मक्षेत्रे कुरुक्षेत्रे समवेदायुत्सवः मामखा पाण्डवाश्चैव किमकुर्वत सञ्जय।
பவித்ரா சொல்றீங்களா நீங்க?
நோ ஆடியோ போட்டுக்க. ராதிகா சொல்லுங்க.
சஞ்சய உவாச்ச दृष्ट्वा तु पाण्डवानीकं व्यूढं दुर्योधनस्तथा आचार्यमुखसङ्गम्य राजा वचनमब्रवीत्।
पश्यैतां पाण्डुपुत्राणां व्यूढां द्रुपदपुत्रेण तव शिष्येन धीमता।
உமா மகேஸ்வரி ஜி சொல்றேளா இல்ல நான் சொல்லணுமா?
நெக்ஸ்ட் சொல்றேன் மேடம்.
अत्र शूरा महेश्वासा भीमार्जुन समायुधि युयुधानो विराटश्च द्रुपदश्च महारथः।
दुष्टकेतुश्चेकितानः
काशिराजस्य वीर्यवान् पूजित् कुन्दिभोजस्य सैभस्य नरपुङ्गवः
नन्दने சொல்லுவாங்க युधा मञ्जुश्च विक्रान्त समौजास्य वीर्यवान् सौभद्रो द्रौपदेयाश्च तद्वयेव महारथाः
अस्माकं तु विशिष्येतान् बोधत्रिजोत्तमः
नायकामासैन्यस्य संज्ञार्थं
मक्रमीते
அன்மியூட் பண்ணுங்க ஸ்ரீதர்.
சம்யூட்டட்
சார் நீங்க அன்மியூட் பண்ணணும் சார்.
சரி சரி. भवान् भीष्मश्च कर्णश्च कृपश्च समितिञ्जयः अश्वत्थामा विकर्णश्च सौमदत्तिस्तथैव च
अन्ये च बहवः शूराः मदर्थे त्यक्तजीविताः नानाशस्त्रप्रहरणाः सर्वे युद्धिविशारदा
अपर्याप्तं तदस्माकं बलं भीष्माभिरक्षितं पर्याप्तं द्विदमे तेषां बलं भीमाभिरक्षितम्
अयनेषु च सर्वेषु यदा भागवस्थिताः भीष्ममेवापि रक्षन्तु भवन्तः सर्व एव हि
तस्य सञ्जनयन् हर्षं कुर्वृत्तस्थितामहः सिंहनादं पिनद्योचै शङ्खं तन्नो प्रतापवान्
ततः शङ्काश्च भैर्यश्च अनवानकगोमुखाः सगसैवाभ्यहन्यन्त सशब्दस्तु मुलोऽभवत्
ततः श्वेतैर्हयैर्युक्ते महति स्यन्दने स्थितौ माधवः पाण्डवश्चैव दिव्यौ शङ्खौ प्रदद्मतुः
पाञ्चजन्यं कृषिकेशः देवदत्तं धनञ्जयः पौण्ड्रं तद्मौ महासङ्गं भीमकर्मावृकोदरः
अनन्तविजयं राजा कुन्दिपुत्रो युधिष्ठिरः नकुलश्चकदेवश्च सुघोषमणिपुष्पकौ
काश्यश्च परमेश्वास शिखण्डी च महारथः दृष्टद्युम्नो विराष्टश्च सात्यकिस्ता पराजितः
द्रुपदो द्रौपदेयाश्च सर्वशत्रुपते सौभदश्च महाबाहुः शङ्खान् तत्पृथक्
सघोषोधार्तराष्ट्राणां हृदयानि व्यधारयत् नभश्च पृथिवीं चैव तुमुलोऽव्यनुनादयन्
अथ व्यवस्थितान् दृष्ट्वा दार्द्रराष्ट्रान् कपिध्वजः प्रवृत्ते शस्त्रसम्पाते तनुरुद्रम्य पाण्डवः
उमा சொல்லுங்க ऋषिकेशं तदा वाक्यम् इदमाह महीपते अर्जुन उवाच तेनोरुपयोर्मध्ये रथं स्थापयमेच्युत
पावदेतादनिरीक्षेऽहम् योद्धुगामानवस्थितान् कैर्मया सह योद्धव्य अस्मिन् रणसमुद्यमे
योत्स्यमानानवेक्ष्येऽहं यये तत्र समागताः दाद्राष्ट्रस्य दुर्बुद्धेः यत्ते प्रियति केशवः
एवमुक्तो ऋषिकेशो गुडाकेशेन भारत सेनयोरुभयोर्मध्ये स्थापयित्वा रथोत्तमम्
भीष्मद्रोण प्रमुखतः सर्वेषां च महीक्षिताम् उवाच पार्थ पश्यैतान् समवेतान् कुरूनिति
तत्र पश्य स्थितान् पार्थः पितॄनदपितामहान् आचार्यान् मातुलान् भ्रातॄन् पुत्रान् पौत्रान् सखींस्तताम्
तान् समीक्ष्य स कौन्तेय सर्वान् बन्धून् अवस्थितान् कृपया परया
बोला
முன்னாடி ஒரு லைன் இருக்கு அதையும் சேர்த்துக்கோங்க
सारी श्वशुरान् सुकृतस्यैव सेनयोरुपयेरपि तान् समीक्ष्य स कौन्तेय सर्वान् बन्धून् अवस्थितान् कृपया परया विष्टो विषीदन्ति तमब्रवीत्
திருஷ்வேமம் பஜனம் சார் அந்த முதல் லைன் படிச்சுட்டு படிக்கட்டுமா இல்ல அதே படிச்சுட்டுமா சார்
अर्जुनोवाच चलनम्
अर्जुन उवाच दृष्ट्वेमं स्वजनं कृष्णं युयुक्तं समुपस्थितं सीदन्ति मम गात्राणि मुखं च परिशिष्यति
वेपतुश्च शरीरे मे रोमहर्षश्च जायते गाण्डीवं स्रंसते हस्तात् रक्षैव परिदह्यते
न च शक्नोम्यवस्थातुं भ्रमतीव च मे मनः नेक्स्ट இது படிக்கட்டா குருஜி
யா அந்த ஸ்லோகம் முடிச்சுடுங்க
निमित्तानि च पश्यामि विपरीतानि केशव न च श्रेयोनुपश्यामि हत्वा स्वजनमाह
அவ்வளவுதானே 30 தானே
22 எடுத்துருக்காளே
36 வரைக்கும் படிக்கணும்
ओके न काङ्क्षे विजयं कृष्ण न च राज्यं सुखानि च किं नो राज्येन गोविन्द किं भोगैर्जीवितेन वा
तेषामर्थे काङ्क्षितं नो राज्यं भोगा सुखानि च नैमेव वस्थिता युद्धे प्राणान् त्यक्त्वा दनानि च
आचार्यः पितरः पुत्रान् तथैव च पितामहाः मातुलाः श्वशुराः पौत्राः शाला सम्बन्धिनस्तथा
एतान् न हन्तुमिच्छामि घ्नतोऽपि मधुसूदन अपि त्रैलोक्यराज्यस्य हेतोः किं नु मयि कृते
निहत्य दार्त्रराष्ट्रान्नः का प्रीतिः स्यात् जनार्दन पापमेवाश्रयेदस्मान् हत्वैतानातत्तायिनः
The Shastra says there are three things which are to go together. One is Vidya and Vinayam. This is the pair. This should go together. Vidya and Vinayam. Second, Dhanam and Dhanam. Again, this pair should go together. Third, Balam and Karuna or Kripa. The moonume has to reside on a person together. If a person is well learned, he is not supposed to have any pride. He should not have garvam. He should have vinayam. He should be very modest in his design. It's very important that way. Similarly, if person is very rich, he has got lot of money, it is meant for giving for others. So dhanam should result in, the dhanam should result in dhanam, should go together. Similarly, balam, person who has got lot of strength should have karuna also. All these thing if resides, if these facts reside on a person, gives embellishment to his personality. These are all not a samanya dharma, but it gives some extra embellishment to the person. So it becomes very important, they go together. Then the question comes, because Shastra say, should these be followed all the time? Should a person who has got dhanam, lot of dhanam, should he give to dhanam to everybody under any circumstances? Should he give or not?
அவசியம்னு இருந்தா கண்டிப்பா தானம் கொடுக்கணும் குருஜி.
சரி, அவசியம்னு எப்படி டிஃபைன் பண்றது? It's a loose term, avasyamங்கிறது. What is avasyam to one may not be an avasyam to another.
யாரு வாங்குறாளோ அவளுக்குடைய தேவையை அறிஞ்சிட்டு கொடுக்கறது தான் தானம்.
அது கரெக்ட், ஐ அக்ரி. தேவையை அறிஞ்சிட்டு கொடுக்கணும், வந்த சமயத்துல கொடுக்கறதா என்னங்கிறது.
படிப்புக்கோ சாப்பாட்டுக்கோ கொடுக்கலாம்னு வச்சுக்கலாமா சார்?
In a general official, what I am trying to convey is something different. Supposing, let us say, person has got lot of dhanam. In the normal case, that person is, if somebody asks and then ask him some help, he look into it and then normally he gives whatever possible he gives. Let's say he is following the dharma and he is a person of a noble living. Let's say it so happened that somebody has intruded in his house and then withhold his son, and then he captured the son and then kept a knife along with him and threatens this Dhanavan, you give me so much money, otherwise I will kill your son.
அது ஒரு blackmail தானே சார்? அது குடுக்கிறது தர்மத்தையோ தானத்தையோ வராது.
So when the dhanam and dhanam and dhanam goes together, in this case what is that?
பயத்துல கொடுக்கிறது சார். தனமும் இல்ல தானமும் இல்ல.
பயத்துல கொடுக்கிறது, correct. But here what I am trying to say, the situation is not a normal. The situation is an abnormal and it is not going to happen day to day. Here the primary dharma of the Dhanavan is to save the life of his son.
Yes.
Because he is in the hand of a wrong person. A adharma person is holding him. Correct? Are you all getting it? So the first cause is not giving the dhanam. First cause is somehow protect the son, save the son. Correct?
Correct.
Are you all getting it?
Yes sir.
Appo kudukra patti illa. This being a adharma person, he is prepared to give, but then it goes into not for a dharmic cause. It becomes very obvious. Normally yara vanda whether that person is dharmic or adharmic is difficult to understand, but here it becomes very clear this is an adharmic person. He is trying to blackmail and somehow get the money from him. So then his first aim of the Dhanavan would somehow try to save his son. There is no attachment involved. It is a saving a life. இப்போ அதுக்கு என்ன பண்ணணுமோ அதை tactically he has to do that, execute that. If he has got the resources, he might do it also. The point I wanted to convey, although these are all the pairs which are very important and it embellishes the person, but the situation will make the difference. இப்போ அவனுக்கு கம்பல்சரியா கொடுக்கிறதுனால it doesn't become an embellishment on the part of Dhanavan. It is more out of compulsion he is giving. Whereas somehow he saves the son, and then get, that person, robber, whoever it may be, they are able to catch hold of him. Then later, genuinely, what is his problem, we can look at it and do whatever is required, he can do it. That is how one has to do that. Okay, this is the case 1. Case 2, Vidya and Vinayam. Nanna padichirukkaru, and then Vinayam is modesty. Okay, so he is also, that Vidyavan is also in a situation, where he has to protect himself from a adharmic person. So there he cannot act modestly. He has to defend himself. In that process, if he has to harm that person, that is not considered as himsa. Okay, the third case is the balam and karuna. Balam means anybody who has got the real valor in somewhere, using some of the weapons, etc. He is very good at it. But he is not that balam. He should not misuse it on the normal person and then try to repress them. He should not do. He should have karuna. That should show along with that. Are you all getting it? But again, if that person happens to be a murderer, if happens to be the circumstances is that the person, the Balavan, is encountering a murderer with a weapon, then will he yield to karuna and then some surrender to the person?
No, sir. He will
No.
try to protect himself.
So thing is very clear. It is the circumstances, not only the circumstances, the higher dharma determines the sacrifice of a lower dharma. Because dharma is always not 100% black and white. It needs to be interpreted. And the various dharmas in one's life are all intermingled. First and foremost, the Shastra Vidita Dharma are the major thing. They cannot be avoided at any point of time. They are the final authority, Shastra. Based on the Shastra, the Dharma Shastra has codified certain things. Whereas Shastra is a Apaurusheya Vishayam. That means it is not done by any individual. It is from the Bhagavan himself. It is eternally available. Veda is eternally available. That is the source of Dharma. Dharma Shastras are all written, codified by individual. All of them, they are all well versed in Veda, and for the different group of people they have codified. That is why we have for Yajurvedi the Apastamba Sutra. Okay, the Apastamba Sutra is a subset of the main Shastra Veda, and it comes under the Dharma Shastra. Dharma Shastra will invariably follow the Shastra only. But there may be few differences will be there. If at all, if it's there, then we have to follow what Shastra says only. Then, not only the Dharma Shastras are there, then there are Kula Dharmas are there, which again is a subset of the Apastamba Sutra, etc. Kula Dharma are the one which are all followed by a sect of people within that particular Sutra, Apastamba Sutra, Bauddhana Sutra, or whatever it may be, and that may be varying little bit with respect to the region in which they live. If they are living in a tropical situation, there are certain concessions given to them, certain things, certain way of doing, certain things to be done at time are all little bit codified. Where
tropical region.
Kula Dharma. So what I am calling Shastra, then Dharma Shastra, then Kula Dharma. Okay. But if there is a conflict between Kula Dharma and Shastra, in a say, Shastra alone is predominant. Then out of Kula Dharma, there are such Achara Niyamangal that are followed by different families. These are all with respect to family related. Acharam. The Acharam will be different. When the function is to be conducted, when the teaching what is, or eating what is to be done, these are all Acharam. Okay? That is why a day which normally in South we consider is not an auspicious day, for some other set of people it is an auspicious day. For example, the Tuesday for the Maharashtrian it is called Mangalvar. The very rule is Mangalavar means it is an auspicious day. They do marriages on that day, whereas South we don't do. Okay? Even in South, the Rahu Kalam, we don't do the main function. Marriage we don't do in Rahu Kalam. Correct? But in Malayalam, which is just the Kerala, they don't follow Rahu Kalam at all. So these are all some of the, again, sub dharmas which are all codified by some illustrated people in that this thing. So this way there are differences are there. So what I am trying to say is, see, dharmas, it's a very loose term. One then has to, in a particular situation, one has to come to the very clear idea which dharma is very important and which is to be followed. It is very, very important. Okay, are you all getting it? Was there doubt?
குருஜி எனக்கு அந்த அந்த வித்யா அண்ட் வினயம் சொன்னல எனக்கு அது கொஞ்சம் சரியா புரியல குருஜி. அது
ஆமா குருஜி, வினயம்ல குருஜி எனக்கு ஒரு டவுட் வந்தது. இப்போ நம்ம வித்யா ஒரு பெரிய நியூக்ளியர் சயின்டிஸ்ட் இருக்கார். அவர் வினயமா எல்லாம் நியூக்ளியர் பாம் எல்லாம் பண்றதுக்கு பண்ணிட்டு இருக்கார். அப்ப யாராவது ஒருத்தர் அவரை கொயஸ் பண்ணி நீ ஒரு இடத்தையே அழிக்கிறதுக்கு நீ ஒரு பாம் பண்ணு அப்படின்னு சொன்னாக்கா அது எதுல சேர்த்தி குருஜி?
Okay, அது லௌகிக வாக்கையில வருது. When we are talking about vidya, this vidya refers to shastra only, Veda related only, because I am telling you all this thing with respect to the shastra vihitam. So there vidya means the one who has learned all the shastram thoroughly. There also some people would have done only one Veda, about swashaka mattum pannirpa. Some of them would have done additionally dviveda. They are called dvivedi. Some of them would have done three Vedas adhyanam, they call trivedi. Then chaturvedi. As they go, they know more and more. They are all to be honored also accordingly. This is where I am talking about it. Now coming to your question, this nuclear science, this etc., the very concept as per the Shastra is wrong. The nuclear this thing, it is a dangerous thing. More than the productive part of it, it is doing lot of harm on the other side, on destruction side. They are able to produce the power and all, it is okay. That is only one part of it. But the other part of it, always there is so much caution with this, the maintenance and all is very complicated. So it cannot come under the Shastra purview at all. The very concept of nuclear this thing is wrong. So then the question of the scientists agree or not doesn't come there at all. Even if there is a compulsion, that scientist, if it is going to harm n number of people, then he can refuse, he can sacrifice his life. Because always the intention behind the act is more important than the act itself. I already told, a doctor amputing a person's leg because he has got gangrene. There the intention is not to cut the leg. The intention is to save that person. So the intention is very important. So here in the case of this nuclear thing, if he should be, according to me, should save the mankind. So he should not mind losing his life. Anyhow, any other question? So the vidya and vinayam garla the vinayam modesty, there should not be any garvam, should not be there. That's I am trying to say over there. He should be modest at any this thing. By being a very proud person in a group, then he is conveying certain thing very wrong. He is putting lot of them in a unconducive situation. That is also a himsa only. From that point of view also it is not correct. Any other question? Okay.
குருஜி ஒரே நிமிஷம். அந்த நீங்க அந்த மூணு இது சொன்னீங்க இல்லையா, சாஸ்திரா தர்ம சாஸ்திரா குல தர்மம், அந்த மூணும் வரைச்சு சாஸ்திரம் டேக்ஸ் தி ப்ரையாரிட்டின்னு சொன்னார் இல்லையா?
ஃபைனல் அத்தாரிட்டி எதுக்குமே சாஸ்திரம். if there is a conflict between dharma shastra and the vedam is authority. Between dharma shastra and the kula dharma, if there is a conflict, okay, dharma shastra is authority. Between kula dharma and day to day achara niyamangal, then kula dharma taking precedence.
ஓகே. ஸோ அதனால தான் இப்போ இந்த செவ்வாய்க்கிழமையில பண்றதெல்லாம் வந்து அவ குல தர்மத்துல வச்சு இந்த தர்ம சாஸ்திரா இந்த குல தர்மம்னு பார்க்கச்சு குல தர்மம் டேக்ஸ் ப்ரையாரிட்டி. ஓகே, thank you.
There are a lot of history and religious background behind that. The whole north of Karnataka and mostly the whole of Maharashtra, they all follow the Ganapatyam. They are all Ganapati Upasakas. For them, Ganapati is the main deity. And they worship Ganapati. And for Ganapati, for them, the Tuesday is a very auspicious day. They do lot of puja and other things for Ganapati on that day. So it is the whole the kulachara of those people. And wherever they go, they might try to follow the kulachara, but the desha may not allow certain things to be followed. I told the last class itself, the Adi Shankara, when he established the Badrinath temple, that puja vidhi is exactly it is being done by an Nambudiri Brahmin from Kerala. He brought this Nambudiri and then did the prana pradishta and all as per the South Indian dharma, and all the rituals there are all as per the procedure over there. But the difference is, if you go to any Kerala temple, in Kerala temple, the more than the mantra, the gestures are important, mudra are important. Mudra ila da nariya nadakum. That is the tantra shastra is a predominant. For India, in the South India and other places, mantra shastra, Veda shastra is predominant. There all the Veda mantras are all taking precedence. ஒரு அபிஷேகம் பண்ண சமயத்துல ருத்ரமோ அல்லனா புருஷ சுத்தமோ சொல்லிதான் பண்ணுவா. கேரளா டெம்பிள்ல போனாக்கா மந்திரங்கள் கம்மியா இருக்கும், அந்த கையில வேரியஸ் டிஸ்டிங் பண்ணுவா. பட் தட் வில் ஹாவ் தி ஈக்குவல் எஃபிகசி. பட் அந்த எஃபிகசி இருக்கணும்னாக்கா அந்த தந்திரத்துக்கு they have to follow a very rigorous shaucham. The person has to be clean physically and mentally and by buddhi also. If a person has to get the chief priest of Guruvayur temple, there are certain niyamams are there. So many years he should have observed brahmacharyam. Even if he is a grahastha, he should have observed brahmacharyam so many years before taking up. Then like that, lot of things are there. Then only he becomes eligible. And every puja time, if it is a Arikala puja, in the Arikala puja arambika samayatla, he has to take bath from the well of the temple and then come in the wet cloth, then do the puja. But same Nambudiri, can you do in the same way in Badrinath, where the temperature will be -14, -15 degree? So it is not much possible. So there it has to be relaxed as per the region. Is that I am trying to say. But idella we cannot say Only those who know Shastra can only prescribe this is to be done this way. But aduve and the Badrinath irukkapatta Nambudiri, let's say for example he has come back. Let's assume he is appointed as the Sabarimala priest. Then he cannot wear the shawl, he cannot wear the kambli and then do it. That's not allowed. So the thing is, what I'm trying to say is, yes, these are all is very clearly in the Shastra, and one has to determine which one is more prevalent in the circumstances, which is of what important. How to determine that? First and foremost, in the Vedika society, it is a Varna Ashrama Dharma, which is part of the Shastra, is the one which determines. That means what? A Brahmana can do certain thing. Brahmana cannot do certain other thing. Even ritual onwards. Rajasuya Yaga, yaru pannu? King da pannu. He has got only adhikaritvam. This Brahmana may be knowing all the mantra, all the ritual, how the Rajasuya Yaga can be done. He may be knowing, but he doesn't have the adhikaritvam for that. He can only officiate. The Yajamana has to be only a Raja, king. Like that, so many things are there. There are similar, for example, Samhita Danam, yaru pannuva? Who has to do? Brahmachari da pannu. Grahastha panna mudiyumo? Kudadu, he is not doing. On the other hand, Grahastha is supposed to do certain other ritual which the Brahmachari cannot do. These are all is there in the Shastra. So these are all determined by that. But no, okay, in the Mahabharata time, there were predominantly Varna Ashrama Dharma were followed. Okay? But there were some exceptions here and there. So let us leave alone the exception. Because in 4th chapter, Bhagavan himself is going to say, Chaturvarnyam Maya Srishtam Gunakarma Vibhavagyo Chadikar. Adhanala, ide Ningalo Nano Panina division illa. Ide Varna Ashrama Dharma. It is by the Bhagavan himself. In Shastra itself is there. That is the ultimate authority. Okay. But today, when the Varnashrama Dharma is not there, it becomes all the more difficult how to determine in a given circumstances my dharma to be followed. Okay. Before coming to the explanation, let us look into the example of Arjuna, and for that only I am doing all this predetermination. Arjuna is in the middle of the war. Okay? He very well knows that he has to fight this Mahabharata war as a Kshatriya. It is a Kartavyam karma for him, to be done karma. Why he has to do that? So that they can establish, he can eliminate adharmic people or put the adharmic people in their place and bring in a peacefulness in the society, so most of the people can have a smooth living in the society. That is very important. All the Samanya Dharma, all the Varnashrama Dharma, they are all done for a conducive atmosphere on a day-to-day living. Whereas Samanya Dharma, it is all the time prevalent. The Vishesha Dharma, Varnashrama Dharma does one more additional thing by defining the Varna and their duty. Their duties are also very well prescribed. See, if they are follow their own duty along with the proper guna, then not only they contribute to the society, but they also grow spiritually and prepare themselves for the moksha. That is how it is a very clean way of living. Okay. Now, one coming to Arjuna. He having come to the battlefield, and he is no doubt a balavan. Correct? According to the story, he is the topmost in the Dhanur Vidya. And not only that, he has even fought against Shiva. Correct? எதுக்கு பாசுபதாஸ்திரம் வாங்கிறதுக்கு Shiva came in this thing. So that much of a valor he had. Okay, so many these things are there about him. So he is a really balavan. That means then the balavan should have this embellishing quality of karuna, krupa. Correct, dane? So he being a satpurusha, Satpurusha means the one who has been all along living a dharmic life, and is a, we can say Arjuna could be a person of example for others to follow. Okay, that type, he had that much of a status in the society. So that is why he had that karuna as naturally came into him. Why that karuna came? First he thought only he is going to fight against Duryodhanas, who are all given to all adharmic things. They did everything to destroy not only Panchapandava, they also did lot of unwanted thing in the society. Nobody was happy with their way of doing it. So if they continue to rule, then the whole parampara will be very will end up in a very chaotic thing. So a dharma is to be established in the society, it becomes the predominant thing. But that slowly, then he saw Bhishma and Drona in front of him, his mind was slightly changed. I thought I had to fight against Durbuddhi Duryodhana, but here all the Sadbuddhi Bhishma, Sadbuddhi Drona, and Sadbuddhi, so many of my relative cousins, all of them are given to dharmic principle. Somehow they are all there on the side of the Duryodhana. So he felt, how could it be? He is not able to reconcile to the fact, how could be a dharmic person align with the adharmic person? But it is a situation. He is encountering the situation. So he is not able to face the situation. So the karuna overpowers him. Karuna is good. Karuna is an embellishment. But karuna overpowers him. In what way? His attachment to the relative becomes predominant. Attachment to Bhishma, attachment to Drona, attachment to so many other relatives all seems to be more important to him. So when that becomes more important, what goes into the background?
Not to fight.
That not to fight illa. What goes into background is to establish the dharma in the society. he came for that இல்லையா தர்மாவை எஸ்டாப்ளிஷ் பண்றதுக்கு வேண்டிதான் அந்த யுத்தமே வந்தது அதுக்கு தான் வந்தான் அவன் but when the Karna was overpowered and the dharma got into background போயிடுது கீழே போயிடுது see இதெல்லாம் நமக்கே நடக்கப்பட்ட விஷயங்கள் இதுதான் வியாசா is bringing it very 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 depictively நம்ம situation if you look at it our day to day situation or important situation in which we have a conflict very conflict இதுவா அதுவா இது பண்ணா கரெக்ட்டா அது பண்ணா கரெக்ட்டா at a time I have to do two things which are all equally important what I should do அப்ப என்ன if we are a dharmic person for us then the dharma should come into the forefront otherwise what happens invariably we will justify that if we want our buddhi will go into the background also normally buddhi should prevail mind is always vacillating but it is a buddhi which was taught by all the dharma samanya dharma vishesha dharma that buddhi should be able to prevail over the mind and tell the mind means what assert it that I should not do this I should do this but what happened when the conflict is more predominant then the dharma or buddhi along with the buddhi gets diluted it goes into the background and many cases the buddhi will try to justify even the wrong thing the person given to smoking it is put in every box it is put smoking is injurious to health it can lead to cancer very clear ah போட்டுருக்கு அவன் வாங்குற சமயத்துல படிச்சு தான் பார்க்கறான் okay not only that it is not good for him the passive smoking for others is also not good he is also harming others he is harming himself harming others he is doing totally a papam but if he is not very clear about it this idea that it is injurious I am not only spoiling my health I am spoiling others health all this thing will go into background he will justify how will he justify see these ITC companies are such a big company if we all don't buy they will go into background bankrupt and there are so many people working in the ITC company all of them will lose their job இப்படி எல்லாம் justify பண்ணுவான் கரெக்ட்டா இல்லையா கரெக்ட்டா எப்படி கரெக்ட் ஆகும் it is
இல்ல குருஜி என்னதான் வந்து இன்னொருத்தருக்கு தனக்கும் உடம்புக்கு சரி கிடையாது இது வந்து இப்போ இந்த பிளாஸ்டிக் கவர் இது பண்ற மாதிரிதான் இப்போ அதை நம்பி எத்தனை பேர் இருப்பா வாழ்வாதாரம் அதுல எத்தனை பேர் இருப்பா இதை கம்ப்ளீட்டா பேன் பண்ணிட்டான்னு வச்சுக்கோங்களேன் அத்தனை பேருக்கு வந்து அது ஒரு பாபம் மாதிரி ஆயிடும்ல இந்த பாபத்தை விட அந்த பாபம் ரொம்ப பெருசா ஜாஸ்தியா போயிடுமே
those justification on what that is very which dharma is more important is to be ascertained if the plastic using the plastic is going to create so much of the pollution in the environment the whole climatic situation is over then there is a flood over there in places where there the flood is there where there is this thing there is a dryness idella problem ane so many lives so that is not a justification so one has to know this person might justify because of the thing So what I am trying to say is, the Arjuna, is when the buddhi is now wavering, vacillating, and the mind has become more powerful in terms of the karuna, then he is thinking, I should not kill my relative. More out of karuna, not because of it is the background is attachment, but attachment leading to karuna. So there is a series of happening which is there. He is a dharmic person. Arjuna came there to establish dharma, saw the relative, then attachment came. From attachment came the karuna, kripa, and for the kripa, then what happened? He got into a situation of despair. How can I kill my own people? If I win the Rajyam, then none of those relatives will be there. Then what for I have to live without them? So it becomes a despair. So he is now justifying why he should not kill others. Okay? But by fighting, fight panni society le dharma establish pannaka, then the yugama there will be a smooth life in the society. 5,000 years back, the Mahabharata war was fought. 5,000 years kapra innikum we are able to discuss Bhagavad Gita on a Tuesday at 3:30 to 4:30. அப்ப எனக்கு தர்மம் இருக்குன்னு தானே அர்த்தம் இல்லையா? தர்மம் இல்லாம supposing Duryodhana எல்லாம் அவன் இருந்தாக்கா nothing would have been there now. So these are all justification which is because of the weaklings. Then the despair lead to a traumatic condition. And when one gets into trauma, next this thing will be a sorrow, grief. Why should I kill my own people? I cannot live without them. I can't enjoy my Rajangam. All these things, the grief has also come. And the grief now will lead to next step, which is called moham. That is a confusion, a confounded confusion. Ippave confusion irukke, the confusion is leading to much more problem called moham, coming from the dhatu mukh, to get confused. Apo mohamna, the confusion with regard to what? Confusion could be with respect to various things. Fundamental confusion is between what is dharma and what is adharma. In the next few slokas, he is going to justify why he should not kill and then go away from the battlefield. He thinks not fighting the war is dharma, whereas fighting the war is what the dharma. Killing is incidental, whereas he takes killing my own people is the main thing, which is adharma, and I should not do it. So there is a confusion between what is dharma and what is adharma. So all his mindset in the next few slokas will be, if an answer and the kula dharma, all those things he will justify. If I kill all these soldiers, their kula will become nashtam. And the kula nashtam achanaka, adil irukkapatta and the ladies ella, they will lose the morals in the society. There will not be their male person to guide them. Now all these things he will justify. So I will be responsible, and also if the male persons in there, all the kula, they go away, who will do the pitrikaryam? Pitrikaryam panlenaka, then that is a very big papam. So I will be responsible for those people not doing the pitrikaryam. So I will also go to Naraka, and hence I will not fight. Anyhow, this context is going to build up, and then later the Bhagavan is going to give him his fundamental problem of dharma, adharma is going to convert it into a not fundamental problem. It is the topical problem. That is, attachment is a topical problem leading to not doing the dharmic war. Bhagavan will say that is not the thing, that all topical problem all be converted into a fundamental problem, and how the fundamental problem is to be solved, and that fundamental problem can be solved only by Atma Jnanam. That is how the connection. So all this background which we are doing is going to play important role in the context in which Bhagavan is going to give the Atma Jnanam to Arjuna. And through Arjuna is addressing all of us. We may not be in the battlefield, but we may be fighting battle day in, day out on various issues. Small issues we might do it. Any doubt for anybody? So all these things ought to be very clearly understood, and Vyasa brings it very precisely, and Bhagavan also is doing it. But the problem is, unless until we know all this thing very clearly, there are so many comments, so many this thing written on Bhagavad Gita, they are all compartmentalized. They don't have the integrated value of the whole Gita Shastra. Adnala, adella patch irukum. There won't be any coherency in their description. Here it will be Adi Shankara has written very clear Bhashyam, and we are following Adi Shankara's Bhashyam only. That lays out very clearly what is the vision of Shastra and how the Shastra vision is getting reflected in the Bhagavad Gita. That's how it becomes relevant. So, what I wanted to say is one important thing. Okay, this is the one what we are doing is a contextual discussion, which is important. But from second chapter, 11th sloka onward, the real teaching Atma Jnanam comes into the picture. And I would prefer everybody to follow it very clearly, review the class, and possibly if you can do summary yourself, it is advisable. It's worthwhile to do that. But those of you who by chance not able to attend the class has to compulsorily send it to me, the summary. Just one page summary of every class should do. The main point, even if you write like a bullet point, it is okay. And that is not for testing any individual's understanding. This is only to see whether my teaching, if there are certain points which is given to ambiguity, so that the next class I can correct it and then give another example or another way of explanation, so that it becomes very clear. This Shastra whole Bhagavad Gita is a moksha shastra giving rise to Atma Jnanam, and it is exactly like studying Veda. We worship those who are all Veda Vitpanna. Vedam padichuvala nama namaskaram pandrom. Why? We look at them, Veda Mata is there in them. Bhagavad Gita is Veda. Given by, Veda is also given by Bhagavan. Bhagavad Gita is also given by Bhagavan. So it is Veda. So we have to have that much of a reverence in approaching the Gita Shastra. It's very important. If only we have the reverence, the blessing of the Shastra, blessing of Ishvara, and blessing of oneself will be there for us to understand everything and get the Atma Jnana. சொல்லுங்க, ஏதாவது கேட்கணும்னா சொல்லுங்க. I will continue with the next class. I'm having severe cold, so we'll say. If you have got any doubt, I will clarify and then we can go. Otherwise, we can close the class. சரி, முடிச்சிருங்க.
Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. हरितालयत्तां नादेन मार्गेण महिषाः भोगरामेण स्वकर्मसमितिलेखा समस्ता सुखिनो भवन्तु.
Okay, thank you all.